It is almost impossible to manifest a new life when your body is convinced it's at war. You might be sitting there trying to visualize a deep, secure love, or focusing on building that successful business you're passionate about, or simply trying to reach a state where you feel settled and grounded in your own life. But even as you try to think those thoughts, there is a heavy, constant pressure of anxiety sitting in your chest that tells you a different story. It feels like you are always on guard, always bracing for impact, and always scanning your surroundings for the next emergency. This is your nervous system in a state of fight or flight. It is unsettled and incapable of remaining in place, or in peace, for more than a few seconds. I want you to know today, being in this state is exactly how you are blocking the future you dream of. You are not able to manifest anything lasting until you get out of survival mode. Sure, you might sometimes get what you've hoped for, but because of this state, it somehow slips, or you self-sabotage, or you live in constant fear of losing it. You weren't at peace when you didn't have it, and you aren't at peace now that you do. That is the trap of the survival mind. And today, we are going to talk about how we get out of there, so you can finally manifest the life of your dreams by mastering your internal state. Welcome back. This is the place where we bridge the gap between the science of your brain and the power of your soul. We aren't just here to talk about wishing for a better life. We are here to build the skills, the habits, and the identity that make your dream life inevitable. Let's look at the neuroscience of this, because it's fascinating. When you are in survival mode, stress hormones like cortisol flood your system. Your brain literally shuts down the prefrontal cortex. That's the CEO of your brain, the part responsible for clear vision, long-term planning, and conscious choice. Instead, you operate from the primitive, reactive parts of the brain. You stop being the writer of your movie and start being a character who is just dodging obstacles. From a quantum or spiritual perspective, manifestation requires a coherent signal, a steady, strong broadcast of who you are and what you want. Survival mode is incoherent. It is a jagged, erratic signal that says lack, danger, fear. The universe, or the quantum field, acts like a mirror. If you project, "I am unsafe and I need to protect what little I have," the field reflects back more situations where you feel unsafe and constricted. You have to move from a state of contraction, holding on tight, to a state of expansion, where you are open to receive. Have you noticed that when you are stressed, you make choices that keep you small? Maybe you skip the gym, you snap at your partner, or you procrastinate on that business idea. That is survival mode dictating your reality. To change this, we don't need to force positive thoughts. We need to show the body it is safe. We need to turn off the smoke alarm so you can get back to painting the masterpiece. To do this, we have to show your brain, in a language it understands, that the emergency is over. We do this by manually hitting the reset button on your vagus nerve. It's very simple. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Then take one more tiny sip of air right on top of it. Now, let out a very long, slow exhale through your mouth. This physiological sigh is the fastest way to tell your brain and the field that you are no longer in danger. Let's try it for just 20 seconds. Take that double breath in, and now a long, slow sigh out. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw relax. Feel that? That tiny shift is how you begin to quiet the amygdala and clear your signal. That is the state where you are actually clear enough to receive. As you practice this, watch out for 3 common mistakes. First, don't judge yourself for that feeling of high alert. Your body is just doing its job to protect you. Thank it for its service, and then gently turn the volume down. Second, don't wait until the internal battle is at its peak to practice. Build your calm muscle when things are quiet, so your frequency stays resilient. And third, don't feel like you have to be perfectly high vibe. The goal isn't to be happy all the time. The goal is to be regulated enough to broadcast a clear signal. From a steady place, you can build anything: the love, the career, and the peace you deserve. By stepping out of survival mode today, you are turning off the interference and tuning your signal to the life you've always wanted. Remember, your dream life isn't something that happens to you one day in the future. It is a skill you build by choosing who you are in this exact moment. Every time you show up here to practice, you are reclaiming your power and rewriting your story. Keep practicing, keep choosing the version of you that you want to be, and never forget the promise we make here. My life is finally becoming mine. I'll see you in the next episode. If you're ready to turn off the alarm and tune into the quantum field, comment, "I am clear now," below.